Let's go to the AFC here. We'll go Colts, the 7th seed, at number 2, the Bills. The Bills are coming in. I feel they're like the hot team, right? They're the team everyone's talking about right now.
Maybe the hottest team in football.
Scoring points like no other team. They just torched a defense that we thought was really good or was really good for most of the year, and the Dolphins that had to win. They're coming in hot. The only question for them is they've never done it in the playoffs. They've never been able, and they.
Oh wait now. Let's see.
That is a question. Yeah.
Hold it. Yeah, it's good. Now they did it in prime time.
They
now
did.
Can we? Oh, okay. So they won the prime time game.
They did.
Let's see if they can do it in prime time.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Until they do it, that'll be a question because they were up, in their game last year.
16-0.
16-0, blew that to Deshaun Watson and the Texans.
Right.
Well, that team, I'm going to get into that because I'm going to rewatch that game, and I've done it. I've already seen it twice over the off season. I think Christopher agrees with me. He might have been the one that said a bunch of things to me. And then I did an interview where they said, "Hey, Josh Allen just imploded and it was crazy." And I thought, man, I don't remember watching the game and seeing it that way. And so I'm going to
It's 2 plays. He scrambled up the middle and fumbled, and then he scrambled along the right sideline and threw the ball backwards over his head during a lateral. And everybody just went, he's out of control and he's blowing the game. But I want to go.
That play, go ahead.
Well, I just want to say, but they were up 16-0 because of one reason, because of Josh Allen. So, okay, so you can't have both. Mm-hmm. He blew the game. No, but they were there where they were because of Josh Allen. It wasn't perfect, and he's not the same player now.
And when he did that lateral, that's right. They still kicked the tying field goal.
They did.
I
know.
That gets in the way. Gosh, let's don't talk about that. But they were a year ahead. And if you could get a lie detector test on anybody in the front office of the Buffalo Bills, they will tell you and probably say, we got to the playoffs and had the year we had strictly because of one guy, and that's Josh Allen. So, and it's now they're a different football team. They've changed their philosophy. They're kind of hitting their stride. The defense has got healthy, whatever. They're playing better. And if you told me that they were going to make some of the throws and score like they did against the Miami defense, I know they didn't score all those points. The defense helped them too. And I would have said, no way. Miami, they can cover. They're clever. They got everything you want on the defensive side.
Right.
Maybe a little young, but, hey, same thing. Let's just keep throwing it, and we'll break them.
Right.
And, that's who they are. They're going to keep pressuring you. And, again, the rush slows down. We saw it. I'll tell you a great game that they did it on that really caught my eye. They've done it a couple times. But one, when they did it to Pittsburgh on a night game up there.
Right.
Pittsburgh was pushing the pocket, and I went, wow, can they run the ball? And all of a sudden, there's no pressure, and then Josh Allen started picking them apart.
Right.
And just like I think, Christopher, you said, San Francisco, what do you think they thought when the game was over? When they saw him in person for the first time and they saw the passing attack and how aggressive and how physical it is. So, it's hey, Buffalo's hot. But now you got to carry it in the playoffs. That's doesn't always the thought. We finished hot. We're going to carry it.
That's
over.
what I'm saying. That's how this whole thing started. You got to do it in the playoffs. It's got to carry through.
Well, I understand. Sooner or later, it's got to do it in the playoffs.
Yeah.
So when you talk about the Baltimore game, I want you to say the same thing again.
I probably will. That's what we do. That's
okay.
what we in media training. That's what they tell us.
Well,
to say.
all right. So just to hit on this.
But by the way,
go ahead.
there are 3 things that are certainties in life:
right.
death, taxes, and Chris getting angry at Josh Allen haters. I love that. It's the one thing that's guaranteed to get you riled up.
No doubt.
We have guys that go on TV and literally sit there and say, nobody in the media hates Josh Allen more than us.
Yeah.
And you just go, why is that?
Yeah.
I know.
Why is that?
And it's only because they're wrong. He's proved them wrong, and they're bothered by it.
We do like to be right. Yeah. So he's been fun. This game will be fun because it's the first time they've had a home playoff game in Buffalo in 25 years, and there will be fans there. I think 6,700, up to that many fans at this game.
My boy Blue.
They're favored in this game by almost a touchdown. So here's the question, I guess, for the Colts, right?
Yes.
Their run game has taken off the last few weeks here. We always thought it would with a strong offensive line, and you bring in Jonathan Taylor. Taylor has turned it on. Last 6 weeks, he has 7 touchdowns, 10 overall. So I guess the question for the Colts is, can they pound the rock? Can they keep it close? And if they can't do that, Phil, can Phillip Rivers win a game with his arm and get in a shootout with Josh Allen if that is what becomes necessary for this Colts team?
Christopher, you want to talk or you want me to?
Go. Well, what do you want? Go ahead. You can leave.
I don't.
Yeah.
No, I don't think they can win a shootout against the Buffalo Bills.
No, I don't either.
Jonathan Taylor is truly during the season has changed. He's gotten better. Now he's a pro running back instead of the let's ram it in there and then if we can bump it outside every once in a while at Wisconsin's whatever you want to call that offense. And so he's really made a great transition. It took Derrick Henry over a year to really become, I think, a pro football running back. He has done it during the year. The offensive line, I've been really most of the year, I've said it many times, disappointed to not running the football better.
Right.
But now we see with how he's moving. He made some great cuts last week during the game. I mean, it really did. Just going around people. Of course, it was against Jacksonville, one of the worst run defenses in the NFL, but he still made pro linebackers and safeties completely miss him. But my thing with Indianapolis will be their defense. It's very good as it goes, but just like I said, the rush dies down, and it just seems like in the second half, the rush dies a little bit, even though they got some depth on the defensive line. That happens. And they lose their aggressiveness. And if you're going to beat Buffalo, you've got to stay aggressive the whole game. If you want to win playoff games and win a Super Bowl, you've got to make those decisions that you might be second-guessed on.
Yeah.
I don't mean going for fourth down. I'm talking about your style of play. It seems like just by my eye, I'm going to get the numbers before the week's up, but when Indianapolis plays man-to-man and blitzes and stuff like that, they seem to play pretty good. But then when they get into their let's rush four and stay back, they get shredded. That's just when I watch games without keeping numbers and looking at numbers, that's what I feel.
Yeah.
And so can they do that? And it'll be interesting to see if they can.
Well, Dad makes the point. Dad has said this about the Colts to me privately a few times. They got to take some chances on the defensive side of the ball. They die slow deaths too much. This is the same defensive scheme the 49ers run. You know, the Bills and Brian Daboll are very comfortable against this scheme. That front four, if you just think you're going to rush four and play, pretty predictable coverages all day long against Josh Allen and this Bills offense, you have no chance. You have none. Zero chance. I don't care. They're not that good or that talented to where they can just go, we're like the 49ers of 2019, and we could just line up and beat you because of our pass rush and our linebackers are awesome and all that. They're not that good. So they got to do something. And to like what I think Dad's right. Like, yeah, maybe a few defensive calls where people are going to second guess you on the year is over if you get torched for an 80-yard touchdown. But also, I think you're going to have to make those type of calls if you want to pull off an upset win, to where you're going to have to pick a time here and there to go, okay, I'm going to leave a guy that has no business covering, Stephon Diggs one-on-one right here, but I'm not going to let Josh Allen sit back there and buy time, and then we'll cover them, but then he'll buy enough time to where we can't cover them forever, and then they get the first down. You got to do some of that, and that's, to me, going to be one of the keys to the game, like Dad said. And even to flip it around, sorry, let me just hit this one, is, another thing that Dad said. If I'm the Colts, I said this on Monday, they're best when they run the ball, play action, get the ball out of Phillip Rivers' hands quickly and drop back pass. When he's in the pocket patting the ball, it's going to be a disaster for Indianapolis. I can promise you. He's going to throw a dumb interception or get strip sack fumbled or some of that. They need to manage him a little bit. And I also think you got to be scared of playing Buffalo's offense. Mm-hmm. The run game, to what Dad's talking about, one of the best things about the Colts is their offensive line. You're crazy if you don't try to take advantage of that and maybe run the clock out a little bit and play ball control just a little bit. I'm not saying just squash the game, but play that to keep it in mind I want to keep my quarterback in a good position, and it's not so bad having that quarterback over there next to the Gatorade bottle.
So, Phil, let me throw this one at you, because I think this is a question for the Bills, maybe not in this game, but throughout the playoffs. It comes from Hernan Favela. It says, is a lack of the Bills' running game a factor versus Indy? So what do you think? Is that a factor in this game? And if not this game, could it be a factor for the Bills in this playoffs?
Well, if they run the ball a lot and all that, I'd say, wow, that's really stupid.
Yeah, right.
You know, here's the thing. You know, one, I think maybe I overrate the Indianapolis front four sometimes. It's really good. I like it. But let's don't forget, Buffalo, they can pass protect too.
Yeah.
And then you put a mobile quarterback back there and a guy that's not afraid to stand in there and take hits and throw, well, he's willing to do that too. The other thing that we talk about all this with Indy's defense and everything that you have to worry about, the Buffalo Bills have as many, I don't want to say gotcha plays, but they just make you play honest because they are looking constantly. Look, we had the big lineman, I forgot who it was, Kendall Lamb, maybe, caught the touchdown pass. Then they had Lee Smith, who he looks like a tackle, but it's everything. They block, then release. They do,
take plays. They got it all.
Stephon Diggs has been tremendous. But when you really study their offense and look at it, you go, he's good. But, man, they do a lot of good things for him. Oh, and all he has to do is find the smallest of windows because, that rocket arm throws it in there.
Right.
And a great example, you remember the play against the Patriots? He's coming across the field. They're running a two-man route.
Right.
And the post is not there. J.C. Jackson is trailing. He's going to undercut and try to get the interception. And Josh Allen lets it go. And J.C. Jackson goes, it was gone. Didn't even bother really chasing Diggs because he was going for the undercut interception.
Right.
And the speed of the ball, things like that, get it done. So they're really, I just love the whole style of their offense. You can only do it when you have the quarterback and the receiving core and all this that goes with it. But to sit there and think that their lack of running game is going to be the reason they lose, no, they'll lose because somebody can stop that passing game. That'll be the team that beats them.
Yeah.
There's one thing my last thing on this game that I like about both these teams is both these teams kind of zagged when everyone's been zigging, not just in the NFL, but it's like they gave up the first-round pick, right? It's like they traded for Stephon Diggs, did the Buffalo Bills, and the Colts did too with DeForest Buckner, who made that defense better and carried them maybe parts of this year. I like that, and I hope we see more of that where teams are just going for it, and we see it with Seattle and Jamal Adams, right? It's like the teams that did that really were rewarded this year.
That's a good point by you, no doubt about it. And listen, when we're talking about this game, the reason we're talking about this game, too, one of the big reasons that nobody is saying is these two GMs are special. They're two of the best in the game. And they're not afraid to make bold moves like you're saying. It might not be popular, but, screw you. I'm the one that watches my team every day. I'm going to make the decision I think best fit for it.
Yeah.
They have built their teams really awesome across the board.
Yeah, let me say this before I go. I'm actually got to do an interview for CBS today.
Okay. How dare you work?
Yeah, that's not...
So I got to make sure I got to comb my hair and all that stuff. But the thing about when you talk about those trades, and you're talking about two guys in the prime of their career and have many years left into that prime. So let's take a known quantity, which we know they are. Oh, no, we got to save that draft pick. The chances are 50-50 he won't be worth a damn, but let's, draft pick. And, man, both of those picks, and I know this for a fact, when Indianapolis traded for DeForest Buckner, they said, oh, my God, this is it. We got it. Because they were close, and then you need the kingpin to put it over the top. And the same thing has happened for Buffalo's offense with Stephon Diggs.
Yeah.
I mean, tell you, did you see the interview they had after the what game would that have been? Maybe it was
it might have been it was the Patriots game. That one maybe the night game. It was what you mean Diggs and Josh Allen on the sideline there.
With him and Diggs doing that interview, man, I tell you that was awesome.
Yeah.
Just listen to the two of them, to know how close the team is. It was real.
Right.
And it really was. I was like, man, that was great. I almost was. I'm gonna run that back and listen again.
Yeah.
And
I hear you.
It says something about their football team, the culture they built, and you're right too, Christopher and Ahmed. Just those trades, the GMs, they really understand their whole team, where they're going and what they've been building, and it's taken a couple years, but they got them in a place where they're, they do have chances to do something special.
Yeah.
And if there was ever a year to give up a first-round pick, I mean, the draft might be more of a crapshoot this year.
You're right.
Than
This
it ever
year, you're
has
right.
been.
No
And
doubt
so
about
it's
it.
Like, it's tough to evaluate
No
all
doubt.
those guys in a normal year. All right, Phil. Thanks for the time as always.
Thanks for having me on.
You the man, Dad.
Okay.
I'll give you a preview of what I'm going to say about the Ravens. I'm going to say they got to prove it in the playoffs. So that's just a little
He's
preview
funny.
of what you're missing.
That's right. They got to prove it. Yes.
See you,
All
Dad.
I would say is run that damn ball.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm sure
all
they
right,
will.
guys.
See you, man.
Have a great day.
Be good. You too.
All right, let's get into
Be interested.
Ravens.
I want to go there. The last thing, just to button it up. What was I going to say? And I totally forgot.
Oh, no.
Damn, I lost my thought there with the
I
Bills
was
and
making my
Colts.
joke about the Ravens. Got to do it in the playoffs.
Yeah,
and then-
no, it's all right. Either way, no, I'm looking forward to that Colts-Bills football game. We hit on it.
You think the Colts can keep it close?
I do. I think they're going to have to play it the right way, and I certainly think they're going to need to run the football. They have an advantage there against the Bills football team, who has a good D-line but not a great D-line.
Okay.
And the other thing, too, within that is they need to run it to protect Phillip Rivers a little. And within running it, too, the one thing I see with people playing the Colts a little lately is nobody's scared of them down the field because of his lack of arm strength, a little like we've talked about with Drew Brees in years past.
Yeah.
And that's where running the ball could help out that aspect. It's just, here, Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde, come down here. Just get a little closer. We're running the ball good. We're running the ball good. And now they're down to 8 yards, and now you hit the post over the top with T.Y. Hilton. Bills are playing awesome. We know that, but I'm not, sold that they can blow Indianapolis out. No.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.